Hello students, welcome back to our lesson. How are you feeling today? I hope you are doing fantastic. So for today's lesson, we are going to enter Module 8A, Writing Skill, specifically on writing a letter giving advice. Okay, you can see this lesson on page 117 of your textbook. So the learning objective for today's lesson is on writing skill 4.1.4, where you need to express and respond to opinions and common feelings such as amusement, anger, and regret by writing a reply letter, giving an advice to someone using appropriate language. Alright, now get yourself ready with your E1 workbook and your textbook, and let's head into our lesson. Okay, before we start learning how to write a letter giving advice, let's try to discuss the questions in A first. Right, the first one. Do you read advice columns in magazines? Why or why not? So in the magazine, if you've ever read a magazine, sometimes they will include uh, something like advice columns where readers would send their letters talking about their problems, seeking for advices from the editor of the magazine. So, to answer this question, do I read the advice columns? Sometimes I would read it, sometimes I don't. Why or why not? Well, because I don't find, reading about other people's problem to be uh, entertaining, to be insightful, not entertaining or insightful to me. Okay, the second one. Do you think the advice they give is useful? Well, of course, any advice is useful, right? Yes, because any advice is useful. It's just that whether whether or not it suits our needs or not. That is all. So, what about you? Okay, do you read advice columns in magazines, or you don't read magazines at all? And then do you think the advice they give in the advice columns is useful or not? Okay, let me know in the comment section below. Let's move on to task B. Read the letter below which a girl wrote to an advice column of a magazine. What advice would you give her? Right, so this is the letter. This letter comes from someone, so specifically a girl, to an advice column of a magazine. So basically the girl is seeking advice from editor of this section in the magazine. Okay, so what do we call this section? This section is called advice column. All right. So the name of the editor is Agnes and the sender is a girl. Okay, there's no name here. Okay, the name, the fake name the girl used is Troubled, coming from Bogor. Okay, why do you think the girl used fake name? Probably because the girl wants to remain anonymous. Kan, sebab yelah we need, exposing your vulnerability, your problem to people is something that's um, discreet to some people. So, especially when you want to seek advice in public like this, of course you want to use your pseudonym or your fake name. Okay, let's read the letter. Dear Agnes, I need some advice. I've got exams coming up, and for the past few weeks, I've been feeling overwhelmed. I'm worried I'm going to fail. I have so much homework and revision to do every night, as well as my hobbies, such as tennis and volleyball, that I feel like I'm not doing anything as well as I should. My cousin's at another school, and during the exam period, she isn't given any homework. It's so unfair. Also, my mom says I should give up my hobbies until after the exams, but I don't want to do this. How can I find time for everything without feeling like I'm not doing my best? Troubled in Bogor. Okay, from what we have read just now, can you tell me what is this girl's problem? So the girl's problem is that she has too much things to do at once. What are the things that she wants to do and needs to do at the same time? Okay, you can see it in this line. I have so much homework and revision to do every night, as well as my hobbies, as well as her hobbies, such as tennis and volleyball, that I feel like I'm not doing anything as well as I should. She feels like she has very little time to do everything that she wants to do. You know, she needs to do her homework and revision, but at the same time she has hobbies. She still wants to do what she likes to do. But she's so stressed up that she doesn't have enough time to do all of that. And then her mom suggested that she should give up her hobbies, meaning that she should stop doing her hobbies until after the exams. But she doesn't want to do that. So she asked the editor, how can I find time for everything without feeling like I'm not doing my best? So what advice would you give this girl? Well, I think this girl needs support from her friends because I don't think uh, her mom understood her situation. So I think the people who are probably in the same shoes as hers are her friends. So what I would suggest is for her to meet up with her friends whenever they could, and then study together, okay, finish their homework together and do revision together. And then on weekend she could spend time with her hobbies, right? So these are my suggestion. First, oops. First, she could uh, do her homework with her friends, with friends after school. And then second, do what she likes, her hobbies on weekend. No, on weekdays she works. She uh, does her responsibility on weekdays from Monday to Friday, but on weekend focus on what she likes the best, like her hobbies. Okay, so these are my two suggestions. Maybe you have yours. So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Okay, now let's read what Agnes has written to the girl. So this is the instruction. Now read the advice given to the girl and compare it to the advice you would give her. Do you think Agnes' advice is helpful? Okay, so let's read the advice. This is Agnes, what Agnes wrote to the girl, okay, the troubled girl. Dear troubled, I understand how you feel. Trying to find time for your homework and hobbies can make you feel anxious and exhausted. Yeah, anxious and exhausted. Yeah, we all feel that sometimes, right? Here are some tips to help you deal with your problem. Okay, Agnes is giving the tips. First of all, try to reassure your mother that you can cope, or reassure your mother that you can cope, meaning that telling her mother that, Mom, don't worry, I can do this. As you obviously don't want to fall out with her, I suggest meeting halfway. Okay. How about cutting down on the time spent on your hobbies without stopping them completely? Right. It is also likely that your friends feel the same as you. Yeah, because they go to the same school. So I advise meeting after school so you can all help each other. You could go to a different friend's house each day and study one subject each time. Being able to study with your friends will help you feel better and more supported. Okay, I hope my advice will be of some help. Doing a lot at once can be challenging, but the positive thing is that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Yes, that's true. In any case, university isn't far away, so this experience now will make life less stressful in the future. Good luck. So basically, Agnes is telling the girl uh, to look at this as a practice for her to prepare herself for the future, which is college life, okay, university life. So how does Agnes think the girl feels? Agnes think the girl feels anxious and exhausted. All right. Now, according to Agnes, what should the girl try first? First of all, the girl should try to reassure her mother that she can cope with everything. All right. And then how can the girl meet her mother halfway? What does it mean by meeting halfway? Meeting halfway means making a decision that would be fair for yourself and the other people. In this case, making a decision that would be fair for the mother and the girls. Okay, so Agnes suggested that she cut down on the time spent on her hobbies without stopping them completely. Right? She can still do the hobby, but cutting down the time she spent on her hobbies. For example, doing her hobbies on the weekend only. Okay, now what is also likely here? Likely. It is also likely that her friends feel the same, right? Because they go to the same school, they must be feeling the same thing, right? It's just that their coping mechanism is different. So, what is Agnes' advice? This one is Agnes advised the girl to their meet her friends after school to help each other. Okay, she could go to different friends' house each day. Okay, different day, different friends' house, and study one subject each time. Okay, so how will studying with her friends help her feel? It could make her feel better and more supported. And lastly, she pointed out that this could, you know, doing a lot at once can be challenging, but the positive thing is that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Practice makes perfect. So this will somehow prepare her for the future. Okay, the future in the college or the university. Okay, so good luck. So do you think Agnes' advice is helpful? Well, I think this advice is helpful to me personally. What about you? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, now it is time for you to write your own letter of advice to someone. Okay, let's read this instruction first in task D. Read this letter that Afan wrote to an advice column of a magazine and write back to him giving him advice. So who wrote this letter? It's Afan. So basically you have to imagine yourself as an editor of an advice column in a magazine. Okay, so let's read the problem. My problem is that since I got a part-time job, I've stopped working out at the gym. As a result, I've gained 10 kilos. Wow, that's a lot. Besides the fact that my clothes don't fit me anymore, I feel very self-conscious. I've always been sensitive about my weight because I take after my dad and I tend to be on the heavy side. Okay, genetically dia ni senang untuk naik berat badan. While surfing the net, I found a great raw food diet which includes lots of vegetables and fruits and promises results. But when I told my mum about it, she told me to forget it. Allah. His mum is not that supportive of his decision to diet. She says I need 3 balanced meals a day and refuses to let me cut out meat and carbohydrates. I feel helpless and don't know who to turn to advice. I'd really appreciate your help, Afan from Ipoh. So who is writing this letter? It is Afan. Afan is from Ipoh. Alright. Now, what is the boy's problem? He gained 10 kilogram after he stopped working at the gym when he got a part-time job. When he started working part-time, he stopped working at the gym and then as a result he gained 10 kilos. So how does this situation make the boy feel? He feels very self-conscious. Okay, what made the boy feel helpless? Yeah, he feels helpless. Why? Because when he told his mom about the diet that he found on the internet, his mom told him to forget about it. So basically, Afan wants to cut out meat and carbs, but his mom disagrees. But somehow it is true though that his mom told him that he needs 3 balanced meals a day. He needs 3 balanced meals a day. Right. Balanced meals here means like a quarter of meat, a quarter of carbohydrates, and a quarter of carbs, a quarter of this one I think protein, a quarter of half of protein, quarter of carbs, and quarter of veggies, kan? So this is what balanced diet is. I feel helpless. Alright, and then now Afan is feeling helpless and not knowing who to turn to for advice. So that is why he's writing to this advice column. So what kind of advice we could give Afan? Okay, let's try to give Afan advice. So I would suggest that he increase the intake of fruit and veggies. Second, meet halfway with the mother. By eat balanced diet, 3 meals a day, balance 3 meals a day diet, right? Meaning that yes, it is true, low carbs and high protein food. Okay, that's right here. In low carbs, high protein food, right? Meaning don't cut out meat and carbs, but just eat smaller quantities, right? Because meat is important, but carbs is somehow somehow kind of like helps in your weight gain. So cut out carbs. You still need carbs, but in a smaller quantities. And another one is don't have heavy meals before bed. Basically, uh, have dinner before 7. Okay, have a meal before 7. And if you feel like you're still hungry, you can snack with fruits or nuts. Okay, nuts is high in protein. Avoid carbohydrates after 7 p.m. lah. And then, I rasa macam dietitian pula bagi advice. Okay, number 5. What's the next advice we can give to him? Eat smaller meals, right? Eat smaller meals. Smaller meals, but frequent. And also, don't eat until you're full. Stop eating before you full. And only eat when you need to. Makan bila perlu, berhenti sebelum kenyang. Okay, next. Be more active. For example, like walk or cycle to work. Take the stairs instead of the lift, right? Okay, instead of the lift, not the lift. And also make it a habit. Make 30 minutes 30 minutes of workout every day as a habit. As a habit. Yeah. What else? We already have 8. Maybe we could add something here. And cut out fatty foods, oily foods altogether. Right. Okay. So these are my suggestions. Maybe you have your own. Okay, you can add your own suggestion. Okay, let's read the plan here. Plan. How can you plan a letter giving an advice? So basically these are the plan that you could follow. The first one is greeting. Use the person's first name or pseudonym. So this is the one I said fake name just now. Pseudonym here means fake name. Macam the first one tadi, the pseudonym of the girl is Troubled. But in your case, the boy actually said or have given you his name, which is Afan. So use the person's first name. For example, hello Afan. Right? That's a greeting. And then opening paragraph. When you are opening the paragraph, basically an introduction, right? When you are writing an introduction, you need to refer to the problem and say why you are writing. And use phrases like, I was sorry to hear that you've got problems, or I understand what you're going through, or I hope the following advice will help you, or I've given your problem a lot of thought and I've come up with a solution, or here are some tips to help you deal with your problem. So you can use these phrases to start your introduction. Let's see the example here. This. Notice how Agnes started her introduction. I understand how you feel. Trying to find time for your homework and hobbies can make you feel anxious and exhausted. Maybe you could say something like, Dear Afan, I understand how you feel. Not having enough time to work out and then gain weight as a result of it could make you feel insecure or what? Self-conscious. Up to you. Okay, so that was introduction. Now let's go to the body. Main part. Okay, the body. Okay, you need to have one to two paragraphs, just like what Agnes have written here. First of all, okay, and then it is also likely blah blah blah. Okay, now in the main part or in the bodies, you need to give your advice and make suggestions. Use phrases like, if I were in your shoes, I would blah 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 blah. Maybe you should or should not blah 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 blah. I strongly advise you to blah 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 blah. Or how or what about something something something. A suggestion. One thing you can do is la 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 suggestions. Okay. Now, so these are our suggestions, right? We have come up with our suggestions, right? This one, okay? You can take a screenshot now and then for you to refer to when you're writing. Okay, increase the intake of food and veggies. Okay, meet halfway with the mother. Okay, yes, agree with her that eating 3 balanced diet a day is healthy, but make sure it is a balanced diet, like we said just now. Quarter of carbs, quarter of veggies or fruits, and half of protein. Eat low carbs and high protein food. Cut out fatty foods. Okay, and no, don't have heavy meals before bed. So basically, after 7, just have very light snackings. Number 5, when we say snacking, we don't mean chips more, Oreo. We mean nuts, raisins, also vegetables, kan, salads. Okay, eat smaller meals but frequent. Stop eating before you are full and only eat when you need to. When we do this, we kind of train, we kind of train our tummy to only accept food only when we need it, not until we are bloated. Bloated here means macam perut penuh gila, macam kenyang. When you are so full that you are bloated. Bila you biasa dengan perut yang bloated, lama-lama badan kita macam our body will understand that, okay, this is our own definition of full satisfaction. So our body won't feel enough. Selagi tak bloated, selagi tu our body won't feel enough. So this is one of the way for you to train your body to understand the limit. And then 7, be more active, walk or cycle to work, or take the stairs, not the lift. And then 8, make 30 minutes of workout every day as a habit. Okay. Also, we haven't touched about his insecurity, right? Self-conscious. He did mention here that he feels very self-conscious. Okay, do we need any suggestion? Do you have any suggestion to make him feel less conscious? Okay, I would say that he needs to understand that. He needs to have a mindset that weight gain is temporary and can be changed. Okay, there are some things in life that cannot be changed and some things in life that you can change. In Afan's case, his problems can be changed, can be fixed. Okay, things that you can't change is basically how your nose looks like, what color is your hair. Tu pun boleh change kan. For example, the color of your eyes. Kan? So you can change your weight, basically. You just need to make an effort. Right, so that we've discussed the suggestion for the body. Now let's discuss the closing paragraph, concluding paragraph. Okay, so you need to make a final comment. Use phrases like, I hope everything goes well, good luck, let me know how everything turns out, or I'm sure you'll work something out, or there's no need to panic, you'll get over it, or I hope I've been some help to you. And then sign off. Use signature ending and your first name below that. Let's look at the example here. See? I hope my advice will be of some help. Doing a lot at once can be challenging, but the positive thing is that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Bye bye. You can take this. Yeah, you can use this sentence in your essay. Tapi this one cannot lah because it's not relatable. Good luck, and write down your name. My name, Aisyah. So how many paragraphs do you need? You need 1 introduction, 2, 3, 4. 4 paragraphs, right? Just like this one. Greetings, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then sign off. Okay. When writing a letter giving advice, you need to address the person you are writing to in a friendly way and use informal language. Okay, kita dah belajar kan benda ni? Informal dengan formal language macam mana? Informal language is the kind of language that you would use with your friends. Still, you need to be grammatically correct, kan? And bukan basa-basa, no slangs, just, you know, the correct use of English language, but in informal way. You're not writing this to a prime minister or something to just, you know, pretend that he's your friend. Make various suggestions to help solve the problem. Okay, we already had our suggestions just now. Start a new paragraph for every major point. Okay, you decide which point is major, which point is minor. Okay, you decide. Okay, use appropriate expressions to give advice and make suggestions. Appropriate expressions. These are the appropriate expressions. And then use linking words or phrases to list the different points. Linking words macam first of all, secondly, next, after that. Unfortunately, we've learned this before, right? So yeah, I'll leave you guys to your creativity. I expect to see your writing before 3 p.m. today. If you need more time, let me know. I might give you extra time, but anything pun you need to let me know, right? Okay, so there you go. Thank you for your participation, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye bye. Take care.